where the sun shines bright in Louisville by the mighty Ohio, where the title Derby Town has grown in name, stood a gathering of 10,000 folks that 17th of May to see a little red horse win its fame. From 42 nominations came 15 to the post, and each 3-year-old moved through the sun-kissed air with colors dancing gaily. From the paddock gate they came, from a bugler's call, past multitudes to see, to look, to stare. Toward starter and the barrier too, these thoroughbreds trot slow as history's first Kentucky Derby nears. 1.5 miles is just ahead, and each readies for the run to finish first for a victory full of tears. All's quiet now, not a whispered sound as the starting line's begun to win that bowl of silver that gleams majestic in the sun. Now a brief delay, a horse's neigh, a spectator turns to cough. Then the barrier's up, the flag waves down, and thousands shout, "They're off!" The favorite colt named Chesapeake was the last to start that day, and its breeder-owner, H.P. McGrath, stood stunned and in dismay. The leader was Volcano, and it was plain to see that he'd set a grueling pace for the sweepstake victory. The race continued much this way, a thundering, torrid pace, till from the backstretch clubhouse there came a mighty roar as a little chestnut 3-year-old took over second place. Then all Kentucky stood and cheered as he took the lead and more. But the win would not be easy as Volcano came on again as the final stretch for home came into view. And all those 1,000 folks laid aside their racing jokes to watch the greatest race they ever knew. It was then those words from old H.P. shouting wildly with a grin, "Go on there, man! Show 'em all! Go on there! You can win!" So Jockey Lewis won that race in 1875, riding Aristides as the winner. The Kentucky Derby came alive.
All right, here it is. Jam on the inside, Secretariat on the outside, and his Hindlight in third.
As always, complete coverage with the people you know of the most exciting 2 minutes in sports. And all of the fun of those 7 days we call Derby Week, from the They're Off luncheon to the winner's circle. WHAS Radio and the Kentucky Derby. People and service do make a difference.
Derby Week 104 Recap. A sequential review of the festivities and happenings around Derby City prior to the Run for the Roses. It's called Derby Festival Week, and you heard it all on 84. It began on Friday the 28th with the They're Off Luncheon.
Every year, the They're Off Luncheon kicks off the Derby Festival. County Judge Mitch McConnell was there.
Well, I'd like to assure you that all the Derby horses have passed the CEM test. I hope our weekend visitors can say the same when they get back home.
Saturday the 29th, and the Governor's Cup bike race from Frankfort to Louisville, the Derby Festival Basketball Classic at Kentucky Fair and Exposition Center, and in the sky, the Great Balloon Race.
There goes the Fall City balloon. The hair balloon is off and running right now.
It's fantastic. I've never seen anything like this before.
It's real beautiful.
A very colorful sight.
You think they might come by and pick me up?
You want me to make a prediction?
Please.
IUS campus.
We appear to have a winner in the Kentucky Derby Festival Great Balloon Race.
What a job by Payne Weber, who dropped down 3 feet off the ground.
Sunday the 30th, and pop concert and fireworks on Riverfront Belvedere, the Belle of Louisville Teen Cruise on the Ohio, and the Kentucky Derby of Cycling in Cherokee Park. Monday, May 1, the Belle of Louisville Dance Cruise, and the Derby Festival Mini Marathon in Iroquois Park.
It's a long way to 5th and Main, and several of them cheered that aspect as they ran by.
When it was over, a familiar set of legs was at the head of the pack. Dwayne Gaston, also last year's winner.
I think I ran a little smarter this year, because last year was so hot too. And I went out really early in the park and tried to stay in contention early.
Tuesday, May 2, and at Churchill Downs, the Derby Trial, the traditional preliminary race to the Kentucky Derby itself, and the Derby Festival Military Salute, with the United States Marine Drum and Bugle Corps and the United States Navy Band Sea Chanters. Wednesday, May 3rd, and on the Belvedere, Sing Out Louisville. At Harmony Landing Country Club, the Pro-Am Golf Tournament, marching band contest at Jeffersontown High School, and on the Ohio, the Great Steamboat Race.
The Delta Queen is ahead of us.
I noticed that.
Something might go wrong that would slow her down.
Is that sort of our only hope at this point?
I wouldn't say the race, Ann, was hopeless, but unless a PT boat takes off from the jet boats and torpedoes the Delta Queen, there's not much chance.
Are you saying we're a loser? We're just getting ready to cross the finish line. The Delta Queen... The Delta Queen wins!
Thursday, May 4, and down Broadway, the Pegasus Parade.
Foster Brooks, the Grand Marshal of the parade, is here. Foster, how does it feel to be back in Louisville?
It's just wonderful.
The Kentucky Fried Chicken float just went in front of me. It was a giant chicken. No. Well, hello. They have some nice-looking majorettes out front, I want to tell you.
And later that evening, the Philip Morris Festival of Stars with Jerry Reed and Dottie West.
I noticed that you studied music at Tennessee Tech.
Yeah, but I don't think it hurt my picking none.
Friday, May 5, and at Churchill Downs, the Kentucky Oaks, at the Galt House, the Kentucky Colonel's Banquet, and Derby Eve Jam 78 at the Kentucky Fair and Exposition Center with Foghat. But it was all just preliminary to the greatest 2 minutes in sports, Derby 104. Saturday, May 6th, a record $10.3 million was bet at Churchill Downs during the course of the day. A record for any track, anywhere, any day ever. Before the eyes of 135,000 cheering spectators, Derby 104 became history. Here's WHAS Sports Director Kaywood Ledford's worldwide call.
And they're off immediately. And it's Raymond Earl over on the inside. It is going out there with a firm just coming right with him. And those two are setting the pace right now. And let's see what the others are doing here. Is Sensitive Prince and Extreme outside, and he's using some run to get up there. And Aesop's Foibles is in there closer than you think he would be. Raymond Earl is going to set the pace as they come to the finish line for the first time. Affirmed is second, and now Sensitive Prince is hooking him. Under the finish line, they head for the first turn. It is Raymond Earl. It's going as far as he can on the head end. Sensitive Prince is a half length off him on the outside second. It's 2 lengths to a firm third. And then in there we get Aesop's Foibles after that. And they move on around the turn that way, and here is Horse the Silver. But now, that is Believe It, who is up there much closer than we thought he would be. He has moved into 4th place with Aesop's Foibles now 4th. And then we got Chief of Dixieland. Down the back stretch to go, and Sensitive Prince leads it by 2 lengths. Raymond Earl is second. We come 3 lengths back till we get Affirmed. And then we get Believe It running right in there with Aesop's Foibles. We come on back to Chief of Dixieland at Darby Creek Road. Alidar is picking up a few horses as he goes along. Then we've got Hoist the Silver, Dr. Valeri, and Special Honor. And we've got a half mile left in the Derby as they head for the far turn, and Sensitive Prince continues to lead it. And Raymond Earl is hanging right in there and comes up on the outside, and Affirmed is coming up outside those two. Here is Believe It in there in 4th. Aesop's Foibles after that. On the head end now, it is Affirmed taking over on the outside. Affirmed is going for the lead, and it is Believe It that's hooking him right now outside of him. And those two are head and head as they come out of the corner and head for home, and Alidar is moving up behind them. 1/4 mile to run as they come to us. And that is Affirmed with a lead. Believe It is trying to keep up in second place, and Alidar now has charged to third on the extreme outside. Darby Creek Road is 4th. It is Affirmed that is the leader. We've got Believe It second. Alidar is trying to catch them both, but Affirmed looks awfully strong as 16th to go, and he's got it. He's got his Kentucky Derby. It is Affirmed that's going to win it all. Alidar to second. Affirmed wins it by a length and a half. Alidar is second. And we get Believe It in there third. Darby Creek Road got 4th. Then Aesop's Foibles. Then Sensitive Prince. Then we get Dr. Valeri. Then we get Hoist the Silver. Then we get Chief of Dixieland, Raymond Earl, and Special Honor brings up the rear. And pretty nice Derby.
Derby 104 on WHAS, your Kentucky Derby station.
What is the best thing that you like in regards, we're just finishing Derby week and Derby and all of, and we're just curious, what is the best thing about Derby week that you like? What is the best event about Derby week that really turns you on? Glenn, what's the best thing you like about Derby week?
Well, besides the Derby and all that, I sort of like, the steamboat race.
since the Bell won this year.
Yeah, it makes
I really like the mini marathon, because next year I'm running in it, hopefully.
In the mini marathon?
Right, the 13-mile one.
Well, about the great steamboat race now out there in the Ohio, what do you think about the turn maneuver instituted by the Bell this year? Do you think that was a legal maneuver?
Anything's legal in riverboat racing.
It says it on page 42.
Right.
Anything goes.
Right.
Well, do you think the Bell really needed it?
No, not really, because I was listening to it, and got a friend down there, it was down by 6 Mile, and he said the lead was just so monumental that nobody could have caught her. Even the captain from the Julia Bell Swain said, no way, because he was having trouble keeping up with her. So I don't think she needed it, but it's always nice to have a little insurance.
Right. Now, that black smoke, there was tons of black smoke. Where was the smoke coming from?
Delta Queen.
From the Queen?
Right.
Yeah, because we were headed out 64 and looked over there right in back of those oil tanks, and we could see it coming up out of the river. And it looked like, from where we were, that something was on fire.
No, because the Delta Queen has the 2 huge black smokestacks. And you wouldn't believe the smoke. They really, laid on the coal and just burned out.
Well, there was another thought about that the Delta Queen had, about 600, 700 passengers? And the Bell only had, about 100?
Well, it's $1 a pound.
Yeah. But I was just wondering, weight-wise, if that gave the Bell quite an advantage.
Well, the Julia Bell Swain should have won then, since it was the lightest with the most power, per pound. But I guess the Bell finally got smart and stuck them all on the chaperone.
There you go. Okay, Glenn, thanks. Bye-bye. Kim, what do you like about Derby Week best?
I think it's real fun. I liked it a lot.
What in particular did you like the best?
Well, I told my parents that Foolish Pleasure was winning, and I'd write, and they didn't think I was.
Yeah. But you didn't have any money on it.
No. I did a jackpot, and I didn't get in it.
Well, but anyway, you had the pleasure of picking the winner.
Yeah.
What did you think there when Duck came off in the lead and was, leading, probably about half, 2/3 of the race?
I didn't even think he'd be able to win. He was so far behind, and I couldn't, see. And for a while, we thought, Avitator was going to win.
Yeah. Okay. And can you pick anything definite out of Derby Week, though, that you really enjoyed the best?
Seeing the stars and stuff,
Yeah.
I didn't get to go,
Bobby Goldsboro.
Yeah.
Did you hear, well, you didn't get to go, though, to the Festival of Stars, but there was a William Conrad dialogue on stage. Very emotional thing. Okay, Kim, thanks for calling. Bye-bye.
Bye.
We're asking the question, what is the best thing or the most interesting thing that you found during Derby Week, the Derby festivities? And Scott, what do you like best about Derby Week?
Well, the Derby is really what it leads up to. And, my horse was Bombay Duck, and I thought it was going to win because it had it was leading most of the way.
Yeah.
So the steamboat race, we won that.
We did real well in that, matter of fact. Okay, thanks for calling, Scott.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye.